Hey there, Colts fans. This is Nathan Brown, your Colts insider with the Indianapolis Star, here to break down the first of several newsy days this week at the Colts complex on West 56th Street. Today, we got a chance to talk with GM Chris Ballard a little bit about the draft upcoming this week, where the Colts do not have a first-round pick, but where they have aims at getting several impact players early and plan to be very active and aggressive in terms of the trade market. Before that, though, Chris Ballard got into some of the nitty-gritty with the Colts offseason workout program that begins this week. Of note, veteran Kenny Moore, cornerback, slot corner, who's been in Indianapolis for 9 years, and quarterback Anthony Richardson Sr. Both are not here with the team this week. Both are away from the team. Anthony Richardson working out with his own private group in Jacksonville, Florida. Both of them having fairly recently requested an ability to be traded this offseason. Kenny Moore, again, has been with this team for 9 years. A veteran, a staple of this defense, and on him today, Chris Ballard essentially said that Kenny felt like his time with the Colts in Indianapolis had just kind of run out. He was ready for a fresh start, and it does sound like Chris Ballard is amenable to trying to make that work. Of course, you can't guarantee that a trade is going to happen, and Ballard wouldn't be pressed much on whether he truly felt like a trade for either player would happen this week. So we'll have to wait and see on that. It sounded like, though he didn't explicitly say it, like the Colts might be willing to release Kenny Moore, who has 1 year left on his deal, if a trade can't be found over the next couple weeks and months. But we will have to wait and see on that. And Anthony Richardson, he still feels like has some potential. Richardson still has 1 year left on his deal as well. The Colts have yet to decide on whether they will pick up his fifth-year option. The deadline for that is on May 1st. So potentially could still be under contract for 2 more years. We learned back at the Combine that Richardson was interested in looking into a trade. That, of course, still has not yet happened. The Colts have several players who are rehabbing, working to return from injuries, either late in the season or some surgeries that happened this offseason. The headliner there, of course, is Daniel Jones, who Chris Ballard said is still he's still hopeful will be ready for week 1. He's been throwing and moving around a little bit, but still some work to go before Daniel Jones can be a full participant in practice and team-related activities. Alec Pierce, the star wide receiver who just got a 4-year, $114 million contract this offseason, underwent a small ankle procedure, Chris Ballard told us today, to clear up kind of a nagging injury that had bothered Alec throughout this 2025 season. That recovery from that surgery will put Alec out for the next 3 months. He will be ready for training camp, but you will not see or hear of him on the field over the next couple weeks as the Colts return to action. Players like DeForest Buckner, Justin Wally, Hunter Waller, Spencer Schrader, all of those players Chris Ballard expects to be ready for training camp and are back moving in some form. Even Spencer Schrader, Chris Ballard told us, hit a 54-yard field goal just a couple days ago in his own personal workout. As we look to the draft this week, obviously the expectation has been that the Colts will likely take a linebacker or an edge rusher at some point early on in the draft. Chris Ballard, of course, wouldn't be pressed too much on any specific players or even positions that the Colts would be looking at early on, but he did say that he felt like it was really important that the team not get bogged down or too focused on jumping for a specific player that they may have fallen in love with too much, or just being hard-nosed at feeling like they have to target a specific position early in the draft. They're looking for value, whether that is taking the best player available at a position that may not feel like it's the biggest need, say safety or wide receiver, or just trading back if they feel like there's not a good fit there, and compiling some draft picks and then maybe packaging all of those to go up and get someone when they do feel like there's a really good fit out there on the board that's fallen a little bit. So that's what we've learned from Chris Ballard, the Colts general manager, today. Tomorrow we will be speaking with head coach Shane Steichen, along with DeForest Buckner, Sauce Gardner, and Josh Downs, the wide receiver. So a lot more to come tomorrow. Several stories from me, and Joel A. Erickson and I will have you covered for all of your draft-related content for the Colts coming up here later this week. Be sure to continue checking out IndyStar.com, IndyStar's Colts YouTube page. We will have another podcast for you here in a couple days, videos, stories, both recapping the work that the Colts do in the draft, looking ahead to what they might be doing. You'll want to keep an eye there to check out all of our work. For IndyStar, I'm Nathan Brown, your Colts insider. Thanks for watching this video.